Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Jason Kidd said the Mavs like being the underdog. Kidd said, we like the underdog role. We have to be. Boston's been there before. We're just a group of guys that some people say just got put together and will play on the playground. It's cool to see this group come together for a short amount of time and believe we got a great group of young men. Kidd was thought by some to be on the hot seat in Dallas, despite taking the Mavs to the Western Conference Finals in 2022. Ocho, do you believe the Mavs are the underdog?
I mean, it's hard to say that the Mavs are the underdogs. Obviously, I've been paying attention to the Mavs throughout the playoffs. They're playing really well with Kyrie and Luka arguably being the best backcourt duo in a very, very long time. I don't see them as underdogs. I respect Kidd for trying to keep his team humble, trying to keep his players humble, but they are definitely not the underdogs. I think it's based on preference as far as basketball fans go. Some will probably pick Boston. Some will probably pick, the Mavs as the better team. But, based on the odds and what Vegas is saying, what you think? Because you know better than me. But underdog, come on now.
No, but the Boston's been the betting favorite to win the championship all year. Now let me take that back. They were second behind the Nuggets. Right. Then they jumped the Nuggets. The Nuggets run back. So they've been no worse than probably third all year as the betting favorite. And considering they've been there before, this team has been together. They get they've been a very good defensive team. They led the league in 3-point attempts. They led the team in 3-point makes. They got two outstanding defenders on the perimeter, Derek White and Drew Holiday. Holiday was that additional piece that they needed. They can switch 1 through 5. That's why they don't really like to trap or double team or try to get the ball out of someone's hand. That's going to be very interesting to see how this series plays out because we saw Minnesota didn't want to trap and didn't want to blitz a guy. And they let Luka play one-on-one. You
saw what happened.
You let Luka play one-on-one. You let Kyrie play one-on-one. But I can understand because Boston has been here before just 2 years ago in the NBA Finals, another 2 more years of experience. Right. I can understand. I see why they are the favorite. I expect an extended series. I don't think it's going to be a 4-game series either way, Ocho. Right. I took Boston at the start of the playoffs. So with that being said, I think I'm going to just ride with them. But would I be surprised if the Mavericks won? No. Would I like to see the Mavericks win? Everybody knows how I feel about Luka. Kyrie, man. When Kyrie was on Cleveland, man, he was sensational. I hated to see him go. Sir. I'd love to see him and Bron stay together and see if they could win more than one. But he needed to leave. He needed to spread his wings and grow. And boy, has he grown. But yes, I can see why Boston is the betting favorite.
Yeah, I mean, listen, from what I've saw, I love Boston. But when they're off from 3, they are off. Yeah. Luka and Kyrie I think they can do a little bit more as opposed to what Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown could do. Phenomenal players. They play well together, but Kyrie and Luka is special. Kyrie and Luka is special, man, based off what I've seen so far. And the small sample size of basketball I've been able to enjoy and watch so far this regular season and postseason, I got the Mavs. You taking the Mavs? Yeah, I got the Mavs winning.
Man, how you go take the Mavs now? You don't bet against them against OKC. You bet against them against the Timberwolves. Right. And now you go ride with them.
Well, listen. Because I was betting with emotion. I was going with emotion. My love for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then obviously Anthony Edwards is his aura, his personality is similar to that of mine. It's very reminiscent of myself when I was playing. The trash talking, the banter. He's just a fun guy, and he's good at what he does. So that is why I picked the Mavs. I was going off of emotion. Now I'm using logic and common sense, which is why I'm going with the Mavs to win this series. I think a lot of people probably won't even agree with me. They probably won't agree. But
yeah, I mean, I can see Ocho because, like you said, you look at Kyrie, you look at Luka. You got 2 guys we know on a given night. We saw that 2 guys go for more than 35 in the same game. That's the first time that happened in a closeout game. Since Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
So you got to go way back. You got to go 20 years the last time that happened. So it's not a normal occurrence. It's not very many guys that can go get you those kinds of buckets. We saw who was that? Kyrie and LeBron go get 41 apiece in a game 5 against the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
Kyrie is sensational. He pick and chooses. He normally lets Luka gets going, knowing that I can get my shot anytime because I really need Luka to get going. Once Luka gets going, normally in the first quarter, Kyrie says, okay, now it's my turn. The second quarter, he normally takes it. And the thing that I love about Luka, and I think they play really, really well together because it's kind of like JT and JB. They kind of the same guy. They kind of play the same position. I know they list JT maybe the 3 and JB the 4 or vice versa, but they kind of the same, kind of like Luka and Kyrie. Both of them are guards. Normally a big and a little play better together. You saw Kareem and Oscar. You saw Kuz and Russell, Shaq and Kobe, D Wade and Shaq. Normally that's how it works. But to see 2 guards to play like these guys play together, it can go get buckets. We've seen guards, backcourts play together, but it's been very few guards that can go get you buckets in abundance like both of these guys can.
Yeah.
Both guys can go get you 40, 50 points. Both guys can shoot and shoot at you shoot with great efficiency. But it's going to be a very interesting series, and I can't wait to watch it. I just want to see game 1. You know, everybody's been off for over a week, Ocho. So it's going to be okay. Feeling each other out. We know Boston now. That first game is always kind of, Indiana had an opportunity to take that first game.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think the Mavs will fumble or make the mistakes that the Pacers did in that first game. And I think if Luka is off to a fast start, like he did in game 5, like to end everything.
Oh, game 5.
Man, he had 22 in the first quarter. And if he start off that first game like that and he get any kind of rhythm or any kind of confidence going, boy, it's gonna be a long series. It's gonna be a long series, especially if the Celtics aren't shooting from the field efficiently, especially from 3. And I know you said the Celtics have 2 good perimeter defenders, and they don't like the trap and they don't like the double team and all that stuff. Well, hell, adjustments are going to have to be made because you're playing against 2 players that you're going to have to trap, that you're going to have to double team. So I would hope they not come in the game with that same ego, not ego, but you know what I'm saying. Just we're going to stick to what we do and not change based on regards to who we're playing. You can't do that.
They haven't faced 2 guys like this. What I want to see is the matchup. Do they go Jaylen Brown starting off on Luka and then take Holiday and kick him to Kyrie,
right,
and then take Derek White and have him on PJ Washington.
Yeah,
that's I kind of want to see how Joe Mazzulla uses lineup because obviously we know Al Horford is going to deal. He's going to start with Lively. That's where he's going to go. But it's going to be interesting to see. Daniel Gafford to start. So Horford to start on Gafford. Nah, Tatum probably take Derek Jones. I think Tatum would take Derek Jones. No, take PJ, and then Derek White will take Derek Jones.
Right.
I think they start with that, and then see how it plays. And if Jaylen Brown can keep Luka somewhat under control, as long as he's not efficient, Ocho. If he shoots 30 shots and get 28 points, I've done my job.
Right.
I've done my job. I just can't let him do what they did to Minnesota.
Yeah.
He's getting 35 on 22 shots. I can't let him do that.
Yeah.
I can't let him go 6 or 10 from the 3. I can't let him do that. So as long as I keep him somewhat under control, but in the process of keeping him under control, how much does that take out of me?
Yeah, I mean, that's the difficult part. And then based on what you said, we're not going to change our playing style, especially when it comes to playing defensively. We're not trapping. You got Kyrie and you got Luka that can put the ball on the floor and they can create space for themselves. They can create their own shot. If Luka wants to shoot from 3, he's going to create the space to be able to shoot the 3. If he wants to put the ball on the floor and he wants to drive to the basket, he's going to do that. Especially if we go
Porzingis
into
will
the
be
game
back.
plan like that. We're going to stick to our guns and do what we've been doing the entire regular and postseason. And we're not changing because these two are supposedly the best in the backcourt. I mean, if they do that, I think it would be asinine. You have to make the adjustments based on who you're playing.
Porzingis, you know what? Porzingis, that calf will probably be well. So Al won't start. Porzingis will start.
Right.
So it'll be Daniel Gafford on Porzingis. And then when Porzingis goes out, Al Horford comes in. And so obviously the bigs will match up. That we know the bigs. The bigs are going to match up. Whoever the bigs are for Dallas will match up with the bigs from Boston, vice versa. The interesting thing is how do they deal with Kyrie and Luka? Who's going to be the matchup? Does Jaylen Brown take that assignment? Because Ocho, have you ever worked out so hard, Ocho? You get done working out, you ain't even hungry. Like I just want to rest. I don't even want nothing. And that's the thing you ask Jaylen Brown, because Luka's going to make him work. Luka is physical enough to play through the contact. The question is early on, see how they officiate the game.
Right?
Do they let him play, or do they? If they let him play, that favors Boston, because Luka's going to start looking. He's going to start doing this. He's going to wanting the calls.
Yeah.
And that's what, Jason Kidd, that's what Jared Dudley, that's what they try to keep him from doing, bro. Just play.
Yeah.
The call, you're going to get the calls, but we don't want you getting out. We don't want you getting out of hand all you're doing is trying to expect calls.
Right. Yeah. Just play ball. The calls are going to come. Yep. They're going to come.
So I'm anxious to see it. I can't wait till. I hate that we had to wait a whole week, Ocho.
Yeah.
Before we saw this back.
I've been struggling. Listen, soccer's over after Champions League yesterday. There's hockey on. Obviously, I'm watching the Panthers. I'm watching the Oilers. Watching a good friend of mine, Connor McDavid. Watching him play. Watching a little bit of baseball. I see the Yankees are playing well.
Aaron Judge. And Soto.
Hey, and Juan Soto. They playing really well. And I'm watching
Giancarlo Stanton, but it's early. He probably like.
Listen. Stanton got 14 home runs so far this year.
Yeah, but he wound tight, Ocho. Them hamstrings and rib cage muscles. He start pulling stuff.
Yeah. It's enjoyable, and obviously the WNBA games, man. Hey, boy. And I told you, I don't want to get off track. We'll get to that. Go ahead. I want to get off track because I get to talking and I just don't shut up.
Also, Kyrie played in Boston. The fans don't really have a whole lot of love
for him.
Porzingis played in Dallas. He and Luka. That's why he's not in Dallas anymore.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of love. So what people need to understand, what I try to get fans, is yes, wins and losses. It's about storylines.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell a story? If you listen to the game, watch how the announcer try to weave the story, how he tries to tie it all together. This is this is that. Sports are about stories.
Yes, sir.
And the greater the story, the more compelling that it is.
Yeah. And this is a great one. Now, it's up to Kyrie and it's up to Porzingis to finish how that story is going to end.
Oh, for sure.
It don't matter. It don't matter what the commentator has to say. The ending to the story is up to Kyrie and Porzingis.
Yep.
And I think it's going to end in the Mavs' favor.
All right. We shall see. The summer begins with Bad Boys. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence return to the big screen with their signature swagger and hilarious banner. But this time, there's a twist. Miami finest are now its most wanted. Mistakenly accused of breaking the law, they suddenly must go on the run to clear their names. With both the police and the cartels after them, what they gonna do? Bad Boys, Ride or Die is must-see comedy event of the summer. And I'm personally so stoked to see Will and Martin comedic chemistry back on the big screen. Audience from earlier screenings are raving about Bad Boys. Ride or Die is the best Bad Boys yet, and this film raises the bar in every way. Bad Boys Ride or Die is exclusively in movie theaters next Thursday, June 6th. Tickets are on sale now. Rated R, you're not going to want to miss this.